Feeling it must be for Jordan Montgomery. He's faced tonight the middle game of 3. Last night a thrilling come from behind nights. All right, John.
They're going to go over what their old teammate used to do when they played behind them, so they're going to know exactly against your former teammates.
Just beneath the knees.
In my career with the Boston Red Sox and the things that you take with the bases loaded, out of experience, and I literally thought I was going to balk. And usually you put your weight. I don't know where to put my feet. Quick of a time frame is a shock to your system. It can work the same way if you're not careful.
Chopping foul over by third base.
1 foot in front of the rubber, 1 behind. It was just awful. And there was no balk, but there was just this panic and stress that I never.
Another 2-2. And has been up. Who's got a 3-ball count here, and you look at his numbers this season. His on base is the opposite way tonight. Leadoff man retired in front of.
The good news for Montgomery is he is not faring as well against left-handers as.
Called a strike.
Strike zone had numerical numbers for boxes. There's 9 boxes. So box number 1 and 3 get that ball off the plate.
Doesn't get the. Some people thought that Judge would slow down with the All-Star break. It's been just the.
And that discipline right in the year he's having, because as a pitcher you want him to get frustrated after a call like that and swing outside below the zone that aren't strikes because he's so tall, and that's frustrating to Aaron Boone and of course to Aaron.
Hit hard. It splits the left side of Arenado
and this is a rhythm, you know, just like a pitcher who's in rhythm making all his pivoted. Look how quick that bat gets to the zone and how fast it gets past the infield, and that's what.
Wilson.
Another guy who has struggled against left-handers.
And just a 191 average against lefties as got a couple of hits, drove in 2 runs. They have the shift on for him.
That's why the shift's in play. And the other thing he wants gaps and homers. He doesn't want to hit the ball on the ground, so therefore grounded into 29 of them.
Judge this year for Judge has not been caught stealing once this year.
He can do it all, I'm sure.
Just missing to the top of the zone. Just 13 times in big.
Naturally. You know what I'm saying? Not to get him because of that. If you're natural.
Bases in a single season. The last man to do it was A-Rod. That was back in. Another fastball high, 3-1. Home runs will probably take care of themselves on their own.
Right.
A walk to Donaldson. An early visit.
Yeah, this is just getting through this inning against his former team and just again trying to make an impact here in the Cardinals. So bad that you press a little bit, and that's a good meeting right there.
Essentially doubled his sinker usage this season.
The question was like, we can get a ground ball to this guy and get out of the inning. Everything about pitching get accustomed to, the new scenery, I'm sure, you know.
First time on the push
ball. He hasn't had a great number with runners in scoring position so far in this year.
On the 1-1. I'm like, yeah. Cuts through the fast.
Use your defense, but when you're going against the Yankees, easier said than done, right? I trust I'm going to make a good pitch.
Able to hold back on a high heat.
Boone does if he sends the runners. That if you send the runners, you're trusting your hitter's going to make. If he has the feel and the confidence to throw his changeup, this would be the time 3-2 to have that pitch contact.
Torres calls for time. Arenado snares it, hit high. Over to second. Gorman to
first. The command of all 3 pitches that he can throw at any time, and basically has that low.
It outside. Former first-round draft pick. Has hit lefties much better than righties. Dylan Carlson leads it off. Takes ball. Well, there is that changeup. Now, there's no question where Carlson will be. Ollie Marmol, first-year skipper, just 36. A step into Shire. How about the rest of that Yankee defense tonight behind Herman? Hicks in left, Lacast, Nolan Gorman.
Well, in talking to the Cardinals manager, the one thing that we talked about and asked.
Done defensively. First pitch missing to
team as first-year manager. And the one thing he talked about was having an identity in his offense.
There is Donald out of contact. At one point, after about a month's worth of games, they were tied for the lowest strikeout rate and gained the slug. This is on a line out to Judge in this.
Well, any team that's going to have success needs their superstars to be great. And
his .330 average is the best in baseball. His on-base percentage of just over 400. It's a healthy hack and a fastball. 0-2.
Unique holds that bat, but he does, and he's strong enough to be able to do that. That's a perfect pitch. But see the variance of that pitch where he swung earlier in to the hitter, but they can't see the spin difference.
What Herman have had to
situation for any pitcher is when he gets a swing foul ball or a swing and a miss on that side of the ball with your secondary pitches to follow.
Line to left field. Hicks he stands up with a 2-out double.
See, that's a perfect example of a hitter who's hot, who got to 3-2. He threw him a sinker or a changeup inside, and he was all over
to chase it down. It gets to the base of the wall. Extra bases for Goldschmidt.
Got to see 2 pitches in that he didn't handle very well at all. Then none of the he's dominating in so many categories we can't talk about it in the next 3 innings. And Phil,
now he has been scalding hot since the start of July, batting over 350. Arenado takes inside for ball 1.
And he loves him some fastballs.
Both starting pitchers. We mentioned the loud contact, by the way. All 3 balls in play.
Called us for a ball, but didn't get that call. So now he'll be a little more aggressive with 2 strikes, trying to up below the line.
Tight to the line, a foul ball.
And they did it, but still have to throw for a strike. He's thrown 2 of them in a row now that have caught too much part of the plate. If you walk him.
Well, that one certainly does not. So you're saying he looks
to swing with 2 strikes so you can get weaker contact. But if you make a mistake to an aggressive hitter who
have maybe Arenado the most. Smoke foul.
The Cardinals, of course, their 2 best hitters. With 2 outs, you don't want to get.
This will be pitch number 9. That'll bring on a 10th. You're a starting pitcher, especially the guy in Herman. We mentioned only 3 starts. He's coming back off the injured list. Into left field. Goals run production for the Cardinals. Nolan Arenado parks a base hit to left.
Come up with that cleanly, but there you have it. 2 guys that are help carrying this off. Left all these pitches in the zone. You cannot do that to especially really good players. In with 2 outs, which ends up costing them a run. Who knows what Hicks has got a.
Tyler O'Neill takes a breaking ball for a strike. Busts him in.
Yeah, he's getting underneath. Some is capable of swinging above the zone. I don't know if that's
his last year.
And see, again, because you're not and make it look like a strike, and the stats tell you he can't stay off.
hold to Donaldson down to a knee at third base. Strong.